Have you ever felt like you're your own worst enemy? You set a goal, you're excited, you're motivated, and then something happens. That initial fire fizzles out, and you find yourself back at square one, wondering why you can't just stick with it. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And I'm here to tell you, it's not because you're lazy or broken. It's about a little something called willpower. Most of us think of willpower as this magical, superhuman strength that some people are just born with. We see successful people and think, wow, they must have incredible self-discipline. But what if I told you that willpower isn't a personality trait? It's a muscle. And just like any other muscle in your body, it can be trained, it can get tired, and most importantly, it can be strengthened. Think about it. When you go to the gym for the first time, you don't start by bench pressing 300 pounds. You start small. You build up your strength, and over time, what used to feel impossible becomes your new warm-up. Willpower works exactly the same way. Every time you resist a temptation, every time you push yourself to do something you don't feel like doing, you're doing a rep for your willpower muscle. But here's the catch. Just like a muscle, willpower can get exhausted. This is called ego depletion. If you spend your whole day resisting the urge to check social media, saying no to donuts in the office, and forcing yourself through a boring project, by the time you get home, your willpower tank is running on empty. That's when you're most likely to skip your workout or order a pizza instead of making a healthy meal. It's not a moral failing, it's a biological reality. So, the secret isn't to have infinite willpower. The secret is to use it strategically and, more importantly, to build it up so your baseline strength is higher. And that brings us to a challenge I want to propose to you. A way to jumpstart this process and prove to yourself that you have more control than you think. I call it the 48-hour willpower reset. For the next 48 hours, you're going to become a scientist, and your life is the laboratory. The goal isn't to become a perfect human overnight. The goal is to consciously practice making choices that align with the person you want to be. This is about building momentum. Here's the plan. Step 1. Pick one thing. Just one. Don't try to overhaul your entire life at once. That's a surefire way to exhaust your willpower and fail. Your one thing should be something that is meaningful to you but also manageable. Maybe it's not hitting the snooze button. Maybe it's drinking 8 glasses of water. Maybe it's swapping your afternoon candy bar for an apple. Or maybe it's dedicating 15 minutes to a project you've been putting off. Whatever it is, make it specific and clear. For the next 48 hours, this is your non-negotiable mission. Step 2. Eliminate decision fatigue. Remember how willpower gets tired. A lot of that exhaustion comes from making countless small decisions all day long. So, for the next 48 hours, we're going to simplify. Lay out your clothes the night before. Plan your meals in advance. If your goal is to avoid junk food, get it out of the house. If your goal is to write, close all the other tabs on your computer. Make the right choice. The easy choice. You're essentially creating an environment where your willpower doesn't have to work so hard. Step 3. The 5-minute rule. This is my favorite trick, and it's incredibly powerful. Anytime you feel the urge to procrastinate on your one thing, tell yourself you only have to do it for 5 minutes. Just 5. Anyone can do anything for 5 minutes, right? If you don't want to work out, just put on your gym clothes and do a 5-minute warm-up. If you don't want to clean, just set a timer and tidy one small area for 5 minutes. What happens is magical. First, starting is always the hardest part. And the 5-minute rule tricks your brain into getting over that initial hurdle. Second, more often than not, once you start, you'll find the momentum to keep going. That 5-minute workout turns into 30 minutes. That 5-minute cleaning session makes a real dent in the mess. Step 4. Track and reward. For these 48 hours, I want you to be your own biggest cheerleader. Get a piece of paper and make a check mark every time you successfully stick to your one thing. Every time you choose the apple, make a check. Every time you get out of bed without snoozing, make a check. This isn't just about accountability. It's about giving your brain a little hit of dopamine. It's positive reinforcement at the end of the 48 hours. Look at all those check marks. That's visual proof of your power. And then reward yourself, not with something that undermines your goal, of course. Don't reward a day of healthy eating with a giant cake. Reward yourself with an hour of guilt-free reading, a long bath, or watching your favorite movie. You need to teach your brain that discipline leads to pleasure. So, that's the 48-hour reset. Pick one thing. Eliminate decision fatigue. Use the 5-minute rule and track and reward. It sounds simple, and it is, but the effect it has is profound. You're not just practicing willpower. You're proving to yourself on a fundamental level that you are in control. You're the one calling the shots, not your fleeting impulses or old habits. Now, a 48-hour challenge is great for a jumpstart, but how do we make this last? How do we turn this newfound strength into our default standard? This is where we move from consciously practicing willpower to building systems that make it automatic. The key is to understand that long-term success isn't about having more willpower. It's about needing less of it. The most disciplined people in the world aren't constantly fighting battles with themselves. They've built habits and routines that run on autopilot. They've engineered their environment for success. So, after your 48-hour reset, take what you've learned and start building your system. It starts with identity. Instead of saying, I'm trying to eat healthy, start thinking, I am a healthy person. What does a healthy person do? They plan their meals, they enjoy exercise, they prioritize sleep. When your actions align with your identity, they no longer feel like a chore. They just feel like who you are. Next, focus on small, incremental progress. The Japanese have a concept called kasan, which means continuous improvement. Don't try to go from 0 to 100. After your 48-hour challenge, maybe you stick with your one thing for a whole week. Then, after that week, you add a second small habit. The goal is to build a chain of good habits, one link at a time. Each small win builds your confidence and reinforces your new identity. It's a snowball effect. The bigger it gets, the faster it rolls, and the more momentum it gathers. And finally, practice self-compassion. This is so important. You are going to have days when you slip up. You'll hit the snooze button. You'll eat the cookie. It happens. The old you might have seen this as a total failure and given up completely. But the new you understands that willpower is a muscle. Sometimes it gets tired. Sometimes you have an off day. It doesn't mean your progress is erased. It doesn't mean you've failed. It just means you're human. When you slip up, don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge it. Learn from it. Maybe you were too tired or too stressed and then get right back on track with your very next choice. The most important moment isn't the mistake. It's what you do right after the mistake. That's where true strength is forged. Willpower isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about recognizing that you are the architect of your own life. Every choice, no matter how small, is a brick, and with every conscious choice, you are building the foundation of a stronger, more disciplined, and more powerful you. So, are you ready to start building? The next 48 hours could change everything. Pick your one thing. Set up your environment for success. Embrace the 5-minute rule and get ready to meet the version of yourself who doesn't just wish for things but has the power to make them happen. You have this power within you. It's time to unleash it. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to hear about your progress. Make sure to subscribe for more content to help you build your best life.